through the eye gate and listen through the ear gate. Anything that is offensive to God. So when Samuel asked them to get rid of those idols, the Israelites did just that. And if you keep reading, it says, the children of Israel did put away Balaam and Ashtaroth and serve the Lord only. And Samuel said, gather all Israel to Mizpah, and I will pray for you unto the Lord. And they gathered together to Mizpah and drew water and poured it out before the Lord and fasted on that day. And said there, we have sinned against the Lord. And Samuel judged the children of Israel in Mizpah. The Lord is gathering the church to Mizpah. Tonight, tomorrow, whenever you get there, whenever you want to go there. Mizpah, if you look it up, it means watchtower. It means lookout. And it's a place where you go and you watch, you become your own watchman. You become your own lookout for what's in your heart. And that's where you say, God, create in me a clean heart. Search my heart. And as they drew water out and poured it out before the Lord, that's what they did, probably in the natural, but symbolically. They were pouring out their hearts with tears and crying and lamenting and mourning for their sin. And that's what it means. It's a pouring out of a heart that has sinned against God and God only. And just weeping and saying, God, I've been doing things I shouldn't be doing, or I've been saying or conducting my life in a way I shouldn't be. It's a place of creating a clean heart. And then they fasted, and fasting's good, you know. I mean, there's no rules or laws, but I'll tell you, fasting's good. Fasting doesn't move the hand of God. It positions your flesh to get into a place of hearing God, of dealing with those, I call yucky puckies in your heart. That's what it does. It positions us, that we can expose this flesh creature. The last couple times at the Root Company, I've been speaking on the flesh, and in Galatians, I think it is, that there's 17 works of the flesh that we've got to put under. We've got a job to do in this life, and it's not something we just constantly focus on. But if we pursue Him and we pursue His righteousness and His holiness and His standard, those things will get easier to lay aside, to put under our feet. So as I said, it's that place that David talked about, creating a clean heart. And as you read on, and we won't read it all, but it says in verse 10, and as Samuel was offering up the burnt offering, the Philistines drew near to battle against Israel. But the Lord thundered with a great thunder on that day upon the Philistines and discomfited them. And they were smitten before Israel. And the men of Israel went out of Mizpah and pursued the Philistines and smote them until they came under Beth-kar. So there's victory when you repent. Amen. There's times of refreshing. The presence of God will come back into your life, and He will fight your battles. That's why they couldn't defeat the Philistines, because they were mixing, they were mingling. I believe it's in Deuteronomy, don't quote me on that, but it talks about how God doesn't like mingled seed, He doesn't like mingled fabric, and He doesn't like mingled animals. For what reason? Because Israel had to be separated. Israel had to be a different people, because they were covenant people. And that's like us today. We've made a covenant with God. Amen. And we are to be set apart for Him.
Amen. Hallelujah.
God's dealing with His church. I believe that.
Hallelujah.
And He will thunder on your behalf. He will thunder on your behalf if you allow Him to deal with whatever it is that's in your heart that's hindering Him. Says that He will bring to light every hidden thing in the closets of our hearts. 1 Corinthians 4:5 tells us that. That's not my doctrine, that's the Word. Maybe you need a breakthrough. Maybe you feel overwhelmed by the enemy. Maybe you long for the presence of God in your life and you wonder why you don't have it. Or maybe you feel you're striving and that, it can be a lack of the presence of God too. But maybe there's been things that are hindering you that just clog up that channel to God. We as a people need to allow this godly sorrow to search the closets of our heart and to repent and get rid of all false spiritual influences so that we can be the manifestation of the sons of God that Ted spoke about. That's really all I have, and I really felt that the Lord would want to open the altar up. If Ted would play for us. I thought of a song that you sang last week, Ted, Refiner's Fire.
I was just thinking that now.
Praise God.